Okay, and I just want to show you some features, some of basic features within Navisworks that you can use. And we can create, let's say right now you're only looking at the exterior of the project and you want to look at the interior, what you can do. But before we do that, just click on the unhide button because the wall is still being hidden here. Okay, when you click unhide, it should go back to normal. So in order for you to look at the interior of the building, you need to click on, let me see, a view. No, not view. Let me see which button is it. Viewpoint tab. Let's go to the viewpoint tab and use this button called enable sectioning. And once you've done that, on the top left hand corner you see planes. Change it to a box because I wanted something similar to Revit. Revit uses a section box, so this kind of fits that role here in Navisworks. So with this box, what you need to do is sometimes the box is not at a location you want. Okay, but there are these three arrows that you can click and drag to cut the model. Okay, it's a bit of work, but you can see you can cut to cutting level 3. Okay, cut to level 2, cut to level 1. So there's you can use the box, and if you find that your box is too big, then you need to use the scale button, change it to scale. You still have the 3 arrows except that this is scale, and whenever you move the arrows, you click and drag, the size of your box is actually changing. Right? It depends on how big you want. You just play around, spend a few minutes making sure that you get used to it. It's not as convenient or kind of intuitive as the one in Revit, but after playing a while you should kind of get the hang of it anyway. Right, so this is section box, and let's say you're cutting inside the room. In actual fact, let's I'm going to make the box a bit smaller here. Scale. Okay. So you spend so much effort cutting into a particular view or particular location of your interest. Just make sure you save it, kind of save a copy of it. Viewpoint, click on the camera button, and we are still kind of the role of the contractors. I'm just going to write some name here, maybe cut section 1. Probably again, if you have an actual project, you want to name it something that represents what you're looking at right now. So view 4, 5, 6, cut section 1. You can see the box is remains where it was previously. So I like to tell people to save the viewpoints when you kind of create your box, because it's very cumbersome to constantly create a box each time you open the project. It's better to save a copy of it as a viewpoint. Another tool that I'm going to kind of teach you. Okay, wait, before that, let me see, cut section 1. Okay, you can see, let's say your project is not orthogonal, alright? You can use the rotate button. The box can be rotated. Let me see how to rotate the box. Yeah, you can rotate the box if it's... Why is it rotating in this direction? But yeah, you can rotate the box. I'm not going to do in this, I'll figure out next time, but you can rotate if you want to cut in a perpendicularly to the model. And right now, I need to go to the View tab. And in order for you to have multiple views, as you can see, when you click, you kind of always have a single view, right? But if you want multiple views at the same time, go to the View tab, use the Split View, and either one of these will work, okay? Depending on how you want to split your screen. So you can split horizontally. So right now you have 2 views. And in order to kind of have 2 different views open, just make sure you do a left click inside the space. For example, if I want to change the view at the top panel here, click on it a few times and click on whatever viewpoints you want. So you kind of change this one only. So just click a few times. It's very hard to see which one is the active view. Okay, probably blue color, I don't know. So let's say I want to change this one. Make sure to do a left click, it's anywhere here, and change it to wherever you want. So now you have 2 views. And if you want more than 2 views, go ahead and split even further, 3, 4, 5. Let's say we are no longer wanting to see multiple views. Just make sure to click on those with the X here. So back to a single view. And you can also change the view mode. Go to the viewpoint tab, modes. There's 4 different basic modes that you can use. They're similar to Revit. You have wireframe, hidden line. Some of them you do not have in Revit. Just a smaller set of features available, but nothing much to, not really a problem here. And in the next segment of the video, I'm going to teach you how you can bring sheets from your Revit model into your Navisworks file in case you want to see your drawings in the model or in the Navisworks file as well. You see, look at the save viewpoints, there is no sheets here. Okay, so we are going to learn how to bring the sheets here. So just save and see you in the next section. So we are back, and our current objective is to bring the sheets that is inside the Revit file and make it viewable inside the Navisworks model. And in order to do that, you need to open up Revit. Okay, so open up Revit, and this is the same file in folder number 1, bl_arc_1, with the Revit file, not the Navisworks file. Okay, and in order for us to print the sheets from Revit to Navisworks, you need to click on File, Export, and DWF. We need a DWF format. But before we proceed, just take a look at what sheets you have here. Okay, there's 2 sheets, A1 and A2, and those are the sheets that we're going to bring in to Navisworks. Just 2 sheets. File, Export, DWF. And change these settings to be in session view sheet set. And change once you change that, you have another drop down menu. You can go ahead, all views and sheets in the model. Click on check none, because there are some that are already pre-selected, like this one. So just check none, and once you check none, the sheets are actually located right at the bottom. Sheet A1, sheet A2. That's all you need to select and press next. And you need to change this to be a DWF file. So the one without the X, we need the one without the X, DWF. And I'm going to save it to kind of the same location. So I'm going to save it in folder number 1, so go ahead and save it there. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to save it in folder number 1, press OK. You don't need to press save in Revit if you never make any modification. All you did was to export some of your information in a different format, and therefore it's not required to save, although you can save if you want to. So opening up the Window Explorer, there you go, is the DWF file inside this folder number 1, and it contains the sheet A1 and sheet A2. Going back to Navisworks here, if you want to add sheets, you need this button at the bottom right here, Sheet Browser. You click and there will be a panel. And in case your panel is flying all around, you can kind of drag the top here to move it to wherever you want it to be. I'm just going to put it at the side so that it doesn't consume too much space. To add sheets, you need to use this button, Import Sheets and Model. And there you go, all you need to do is import this DWF file here. Press Open, and there you go, your sheets are here. So you just click on them, and it will show you the sheets here. The reason why it has this blue and red arrow here, okay, in order for it to disappear, you can just right click and use Prepare All Sheets and Model. So when you click on Prepare All Sheets and Model, after you wait a while there, you notice that there will be no more blue and red icons. The reason, not icons, but arrows, right? So the reason why there's arrows there is basically telling you that you haven't opened that particular sheet for the first time. Okay, when you open the sheet for the first time, they will be gone. Okay, so when I click on section A2, and why there's no difference? Let me see. You can see by clicking on section A2, it takes absolutely no time to open the sheet, whereas for sheet A1, it took like probably 3 seconds. So every time you bring in a set of sheet, do a right click, do Prepare All Sheets and Model. So at the end of the day, when you click on the sheet, it reacts kind of immediately, instantly, rather than taking a few seconds. If you don't like it, okay. So this sheet is not a dead sheet in the sense that what I'm saying here is you can click on the objects. See, let me see. You see, I'm clicking on objects. Okay, this is not a dead piece of PDF. You can still make connections to the model, although it looks like a PDF. It is not a PDF. Okay, so you can click on individual elements just like you would do in a typical BIM software. Okay, and next I try to look at sheet A2 and zooming to this viewport over here at the top right hand corner. And I want you to click on some elements, probably something on the exterior, like this piece, this blue color. After you click on it, do a right click. And you need to right click on, you see, if you don't right click on the element itself, you will have a different set of tools. Whereas if you click on the correct position of the elements, you have different options. So just make sure you have these options available for you here. And what I need to do is use this function, Find Item in Other Sheets and Models. Okay, when you click on it, this panel should open up, and you can see that this element can be seen in particularly these 2 views that you have, and one of them is stating sheet A2. Obviously, it is seen in sheet A2 because we are in sheet A2, right? But it's also seen in the model itself, right? So in order for you to see a particular element in different views, you use this function called Find Item in Other Sheets and Model, and they will display in what particular views can you see that particular element again. So we're not going to click sheet A2 because we are at sheet A2 at this point in time. Just go ahead and go for the BL_arc_1 NWC, press View, and you can see it brings you to the 3D view of the element here. Right? So this is kind of another useful feature of inside Navisworks. And the next thing we're going to do is I want you to click on any element that you have on your screen. Okay, maybe just click on this piece of wall, and you can actually kind of extract the properties. And in order for you to do that, go to the Home tab, and you will find the Properties button here. Go ahead and click on it, and you'll notice there's so many panels in Navisworks. So I'm just going to close the sheet browser, close this panel over here. Let me see. I'm going to close the selection tree, and I'm just going to make the Properties panel slightly smaller here. So similarly in Revit, when you click on your object or element, you can kind of extract their properties. So in this properties panel, there's different kinds of information that you can get from whichever element that you are clicking. You might need to get some familiarize yourself with all this information here, because if you are a user of Revit, you will notice that the way Navisworks and Revit show information or show the properties and attributes of the selected element is slightly different. Okay, so you need some time to just go through and see what kind of information belongs to whatever which tab it is. Okay. So aside from properties, okay, beside it there's one called quick properties. So what is the difference between quick properties and properties? So if yours is not highlighted in blue, just go and click on it, make sure it's highlighted in blue. And once quick properties is highlighted in blue, you can point at a wall, you can get some information. Okay, so you can see I'm pointing at this wall. It disappears after a few seconds, but while it's there, you can see there's 3 information: the name, area, and volume shown. So as long as you point on the object, these 3 attributes are actually shown for you. Without clicking on them, you notice nothing is blue. All I did was to point, and the information extracted. So maybe this name or area or volume is kind of useless information to you. You find that it doesn't help you in your work. You can actually kind of set what does quick properties actually show. And to do that, click on this green button, Navisworks icon, go to Options. Okay, and this panel is called the Global Settings panel, or some people call it the Options Editor panel. One of the 2 names they are talking about this panel here. And go to Interface, click on the plus for interface. You will see Quick Properties. Click on the plus for Quick Properties, and click on Definitions. So at this point in time, yours might be different from mine, but as you can see just now, when I hover on the element long enough, there is name, there is area, there is volume, right? So if you want to add or kind of remove some information, what you can do is the plus or the X sign for remove. Let's say I don't want the name, I can click on remove element, so the name is gone. And let's say I want area and volume, maybe, let me see. Why not? I believe your computer is now not showing area and volume. So maybe what you can do is to follow my settings. Okay, so what I have is name, area, volume. So name, area, volume, and make sure your category is on the right element. Okay, so you just got to make a couple of changes here. Okay, to make sure they're similar to mine. In case you want to find other informations, I suggest you spend some time looking at what informations that you can quickly extract just simply through pointing your mouse. Okay, there's a lot of information here. Once you're done setting all these 3 here, just press the OK button. And the reason why I already have this set as name, area, and volume is because it is not based off a project, it's based off the computer. So if the previous person have already set this as your quick properties, then they will show just this information here. So yours probably is your first time you're opening up Navisworks in your computer, and they have different settings from mine. Okay, so if your quick properties turn off and you point an object, nothing happens. If you turn it on, you point an object, then the properties appear. So that is the function of quick properties, and I just want you to spend some time, coming back to these definitions here and kind of figuring out what kind of information that would be useful to use. And yeah, just spend some time reading this model, and I will see you in the next session of the video tutorial. Thank you.